and welcome back to Sticks and Strings. I'm Naomi.
I'm Beth.
I'm Eve.
Whenever we sit, I feel like I have a giant head. Because I guess you're back here.
There.
Now our heads are the same size.
It could be because you have a giant head.
Okay, welcome back. It is almost the end of October. We have a week left, if you can believe that.
Oh,
gosh. Yeah. And we're back. Thanks for bearing with us last week while Eve and Beth were getting moved and dealing with all of that. And so we are back.
We're still dealing with it.
You're still dealing with it. You're going to deal with it for a while.
Yeah.
But we're back, and we are going to have a giveaway, so stick around because we're celebrating 600 plus subscribers, which is really great. Yay. Thank you so much for subscribing and sticking around and hanging out with us.
But you can still subscribe.
Yeah, still subscribe, absolutely, because when we're 700, we'll do another party. So we're going to have a party today, and we are going to have a giveaway, so stick with us, and we'll let you hear all about that. So grab your craft, your beverage of choice, and you see I pulled my sticker. I didn't win anything. So thanks, McDonald's. And sit back and relax, and I think Eve's going to go first.
Yeah. So right now I'm working on Under the Sea Temperature Chart designed by myself for Three Sisters Creative, and that's our Etsy shop.
And as I said, you can get that pattern if you want it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we're about ready to start a new year, so
yeah, it's a good
gotta
time
be
to get
thinking about what you want to do for next year.
and you could get it now
Yeah.
and start the border.
Yeah.
That would make it easy too, huh?
I have to upload a change, but soon. You could get it now, and it works 99.9% of the time, and I could send you a change. It's just I'd like to. I added some sea creatures.
Ah, very good.
Yeah. So, but I forgot to work on it yesterday. I was
A little preoccupied.
We were working on getting our bathroom set up, and not that it is, but this is where I am so far. Now, if you look at this, you basically see the rest of the week. It was most of this week, it was 90 degrees. And when it wasn't 90 degrees, it was 84 degrees. By the way, when it's spring and it's starting to get warmer and it hits 90, you're like, it's hot. But when it's been summer and it hits 90, you're like, oh, that beautiful weather.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to be working on this, and I'm going to try to take it down, work on some of this down here. So, yeah. Then I have what I am calling a finish. It's not what the pattern calls a finish, but I've decided that I'm done. This was a charity pattern by Cross Stitching for Fun, and can I remember what it is called? I cannot. But it had, oh sorry, my drink is in the way. It had some more
Is that the one about
shading underneath?
the room of the
Yes, I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it.
No, I thought that was the name of the thing.
It had some shading under here, and I think it was just shading for the whole nativity scene, and I decided that I didn't like that, so I didn't do it. Now, what it says is, each of us is an innkeeper who decides if there's room for Jesus, and I really like that sentiment, so now it's ready for me to FFO if I can find all of my FFO things, which is a challenge in and of itself. One of the projects that I'm concentrating on for this month is Holly Jolly Christmas, Erica Michaels, and I have completed both berries, although I only FFO'd one, and I am working on this. I don't know what this is called. It's a flat finish. It's not a flat fold. But before I started working on it, I had a little bit of this ornament done and the words up to here. And so I finished the ornament and I'm working on the word Christmas. Now, the ornament is not correct. It is one stitch too far this way. And by the time I realized that, I was halfway done with the ornament. I decided that I did not care. So the word Christmas is going to stick out a little bit more than it does in the picture by like one stitch more. And I'm good with that. And then the other pattern that I was concentrating on for October was Wolf. And this is by Pigeon Coop. His actual name escaped me.
Max Pigeon.
Max Pigeon. And this is where I am. So half of a wolf. And I wanted to continue working on this one, but I decided to go ahead and pick up the other one and get some working on that, because neither one of those are going to get the attention they deserve for this this month. One of my projects, I'm hoping to finish this by Christmas. Of course, it will not be done by Christmas, but you know, is by Crazy Stitch, and it is We Do Geek, and it's In This House We Do Geek, and a whole bunch of geeky stuff in between. In our new home, we have a little niche that is really too narrow for putting anything. It's just 2 inches deep. And yes, we know what's supposed to go there. So I've decided that I'm going to put this there and put little like Star Wars toys or toys from this underneath. So far I have In This House with Harry Potter glasses and scar. We believe in magic. The magic is glow in the dark, and then a little sparkly castle. And we have Epic Adventures and Once Upon a Time. And I stopped there because there is the word and over here. And I just was like, I'm not getting out the brown just to do the word and. But I wanted, the next part is the Rebel symbol, Star Wars Rebels. And then it says in galaxies far, far away. So I wanted to do the Star Wars Rebel symbols in red, and I didn't have all my threads with me, so I couldn't do that. And I wanted to do in galaxies far, far away in yellow, because in the Star Wars films, when the words come down, they are yellow. So I said, well, I can't work on those, and I'm not doing the and yet. So I said, it's time to stop for now till I get all my stuff.
Yeah.
Because rather than say, well, you know, I could use the brown, no, that's not what I want. So, and it's going to be very colorful, and I don't know if it should have been done all in one color like design, but whatever.
It's yours.
It's mine. Well, technically it'll be my son's. I chose glow in the dark because glow in the dark is magic. But it didn't show up without the outline. So what my WIP-GO piece for this month is supposed to be, one of them, I already did the other one. Sorry, I'm losing my needle here. Is Blackberry hands-on design. And I have my fabric all cut, ready to go. And I normally try to start my new starts on the 1st and on the 15th. on the 15th we were getting ready to move, and I said I'm not doing that. And so I said maybe I'll do it on the 30th. I don't know. However, I may be wanting to start something else, so we'll see. Who knows? Maybe I'll stop working on the other things I'm concentrating on and just make lots of new starts, because I need more projects. Now, my WIP-GO calls for November are Cat Trio. There's these two guys. These are a free pattern. There is no picture that goes with them, so that's why I'm showing the pattern. And this one, and I'm dithering about, they're full coverage. I'm dithering about which one I want to do. I really like this one, but I love these two as well. And they're full coverage, so it doesn't really matter what I put them on. So I might put them on this. I might not. I might just put them on white. It doesn't really matter because they're full coverage. But they will be going on 14 count. And it doesn't have a stitch count for each one. It's the maximum stitch count is 70 by 70. So I've had these printed out for a while, and I know I have all the threads because I got all the threads when I got them, but I haven't bothered to start it yet, which is why I put it on my WIP-GO. Another one for my WIP-GO is Sea Turtle. Now for June's cross stitch camp piece, I did a dolphin. Was it a dolphin or was it just sea animals?
I don't know.
Did another one of these. And
Where's that from? The design.
I don't know.
Oh.
V cross stitch. I did another one, and I did it with DMC Colores threads and DMC, and I kind of want to do this the same, although I really don't like the border. So I might do the border just an outline. I don't know. I'll think about it. I don't understand why there's a chain. There's nothing there that requires a chain. You're not going to put a chain on a sea turtle. Anyway. And I will be starting that probably on this greenish fabric, because it's got a little seahorse because I tried something else and I didn't like it. Probably on this greenish fabric because I think it'll go good with sea turtles. There's more than one sea turtle. There's a total of 4.
Does it have a specific color, or is it one of those that you could just do whatever color you want?
It's just black. So I'm going to do whatever color I want. And then when I was looking for something that for our giveaway today, this jumped into my hand. The new Christmas cross stitch, just cross stitch with the Christmas ornaments, and there was a particular ones that I really like, and it's too tiny there. I really like this big fat Santa right here. I saw it on Just Keep Stitching, and I was like, I need that Santa Claus. And then what is right up my alley sorry, I should have marked these. are these sparkly biscornus, stacked biscornus. They're done with Kreinik. I think that's what they're charted with. There's some sparkly thread. And let's see what the Etoile beads. Etoile and beads. I don't know about the beads. I think I'd rather use Kreinik, but I can use beads. I love it. I love them. So, and that's not all of them that I like. I like quite a few, like this dog with the Christmas lights wrapped around him. Isn't that my dog? I really like that. And I really love this snowman. Right here, this stacked snowman. He's beautiful. But I'm not going to put it on wooden. I'm not going to get out a drill. So after I saw a flip through on somebody's channel that while we were in the Airbnb, that I was like, I don't know who you are, but thank you for showing me this whole magazine. Make me want it. Mm-hmm. So that is me.
Oh, okay. I'm going next, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I just made a mess here. Let me kind of get it situated. I finished the body of my ranunculus sweater, and what this mess is over here is I'm just picking up the sleeve to start the first sleeve. I've tried it on, and I'm planning to wear it over a white dress shirt, like with a collar, and then have long sleeves. I think maybe like here, and then turn my sleeve back. It's my fashion thoughts. So the other thing was when I got to the ribbing here, you're supposed to go down a needle size, and I did not, because I didn't really want it to cinch in. I wanted it to just be straight. And then when I did the bind off, I thought I was doing it loosely enough. But then when I went to try it on, it stretches to a point, but then so it felt a little bit like a hard string around it. But then, I'm like, it's fine. It'll be fine. I thought, should I take it out and do a really super stretchy one? But then I thought, if I do that, I'm worried that the edge will flare, and I really don't want that. So I'm gonna finish the sleeves, finish it. And I mean, before I block it, I can still really try it on and feel like, is that going to be okay? It's fine on my, like, it lands right at my hips, and it fits fine, and it sits straight. So I don't know why I'm freaking out about it so much. Just when I tried it on, it felt really strange to have this very stretchy fabric and then this hard cast off edge. But if you just hold it and excuse me. If you lay it flat, the binding isn't, the bind off isn't pulling in, so it's not too tight. See, it just sits straight. So I'm just freaking out because when I tried it on, it felt like, oh no, it doesn't fit. But it was just twisted up on my back, and Mark helped me put it on, and everything was fine. So anyway. So I'm working now on the sleeves. This was probably the fastest garment I've ever made. When did I start this? Labor Day?
I don't know.
I started it. No, I didn't start Labor Day.
It was after that.
It was this month.
I started my shawl on Labor Day.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say last week. This has been only 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Because it was 2 weeks ago that I showed the collar that I had started 4 times, right?
I think so, yeah.
And then we had the moving video when I didn't show any progress. And then today. Yeah, so it's just been 2 weeks, which is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And I really like it. I have some photos I'll put of it, like the yoke over my shirt. I think it looks really nice. So I'm very excited, and I've been putting off knitting the sleeves for a few days just because I've been crazy busy. But waiting in the wings is going to be a hat. I have a friend who he's a conductor that is at the symphony, and he's moving to Cincinnati. So I was teasing him. I was going to go to a concert he was conducting, and I was like, "Can I bring my knitting?" In other words, like, am I going to be bored? He got, just to tease him, and he was like, well, "You should knit me something," and I'm like, "Only if you're knit worthy." Like, not every. I said it has nothing to do with how good a friend you are. If you're knit worthy, you're not knit worthy. Like, if you don't appreciate it right or whatever. Mm-hmm. So he's like, "Oh, I'm knit worthy." So I was like, "Fine, I'll knit you something." And I was like, "Do you want a hat for your head or a pair of socks?" And he's like, "Surprise me." So I was like, "Oh, I'm making a hat then." That's way easier.
You say what?
Surprise me.
Oh.
So I'm like, "Well, then I'm making a hat." And I already had this yarn. If I had to go out,
very male.
Yeah, if I'd had to go out and spend money on yarn, I probably wouldn't have even offered. But anyway, not because I don't like him, but I have this yarn. It's WIP-GO. I don't remember the name of it. It's mostly black, and it's got like a purple and brown and white and blue flecks in it. And I was looking for a hat pattern. I don't want to buy one. I love you, but I don't want to buy one. And I think the one I'm gonna make is let's see. I think I called it. I have to remember what I named things in Knit Companion, because I name them like sometimes like who I'm making them for. Yeah, dad hat. I made this hat. It's called Ribs and Cables Beanie, and I made it for my dad out of my own hand spun yarn, and there it is.
Dad liked that hat.
Yeah. I don't know what I would do it. Do you know what I would do it? Anyway.
I'm sure it's in the storage unit.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to do this. Even though it's got a pattern in it, I don't think it will be too, I don't think this will detract from the cable pattern as much. Look at that. It's like four rows of rib and then a cable. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of fun. Huh?
I think it'll be okay.
I think it'll be good. And if it's not, I don't care. It'll be living in Cincinnati and I won't care. So that's waiting in the wings. I almost started it the other night. I'm like, no, stop it. Finish your sweater. Because I think I got really discouraged by that experience of the bind off. And so it kind of stalled. And then I started thinking about this hat, and I felt myself going, I'm just going to cast on the hat. And I thought, no, if I do that, I know myself very well. If I do that,
you'll never finish the
I will
sweater.
never finish the sweater, because I'll be all discouraged about it. And I'll be sitting there going, should I redo the hem? Should I not redo the hem? So no, I'm just going to trust the process. I think it's fine. I'm going to do the sleeves, and then I'm going to try it on in all its glory, and I'll be fine. So that is literally all I've been working on. So, well, not literally. There's a surprise, but that's all I'm working on right now. So that's me for right now.
I'm gonna just stick this thing because I don't want to lose my place here. Okay, so so I've been trying to sneak a little stitching in when I could through all this ordeal.
The hard thing is keeping your eyes open while you stitch.
Keeping up, yeah, because like the other night, I guess when we finally moved into the house, I thought, okay, I can put a few stitches in. I put the thing in the hoop, and but I had to like start a new thread, and I was just like, before I knew it, I was asleep, and it was there on the bed. And
that's the way I was at the Airbnb most nights. I was like, I can't do this.
But
I'll make a mess.
Yeah. So what I was working on, so I showed 2 weeks ago, I guess, Dutch Winter. I had started on that. That was one of my new starts, and
I'm going to step away just because I'm really hot.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn my air down. I'll be right back.
The ferret that I had finished this 7 days or whatever the goal was on that. So my other WIP-GO WIP for October was this wandering sheep. I was a wandering sheep. I once preferred to roam, but now I love my father's voice. I love his home. So there's a big black sheep there, and then there's some flowers, and the border underneath, and then all the words. So last time I showed this 2 weeks ago, I had already done the flowers and part of the grass under the sheep's feet, and I had done the outline, the face, and the outline of the body, feet, and some of the just started on the black thing, and I think I had not done any of the words yet. So since I worked on it, I've actually passed the goal. I did 7 days, but then I've done a couple of extra days just because. So this is where I am now. I did all the words, and the thing is that these are done in ThreadWorks threads, and there's a couple of DMCs in there, but mostly ThreadWorks threads. But in the words, there are two different shades of green. There's Shamrock and Seven Dwarfs Mine is what the colors are called. So there's like just random letters here and there that are done in Shamrock and in this lighter green color, but the Seven Dwarfs Mine green is darker, but with the variegation it tends to get a little bit light, and so there's times when you can't really tell the difference a whole lot because of the variegation in the darker thread. And so I had gone through and I had stitched some of the shamrock colored letters, like the eyes are down here are done in that shamrock color, and like here was a wandering sheep is done in the darker color. And so anyway, at one point I got down here and I had, like I said, I had done the individual shamrock letters, and I had the two little cards of thread, and I thought I was grabbing the Seven Dwarfs Mine, and I was stitching along, and I was like, gosh, you really can't tell the difference. I don't know why you even bother to have the different colored thread. And this is because I did the whole line in the wrong shade of green. And so I thought, should I just leave it there? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to leave it there. So I took it out, and I restitched it the correct color. So now I did all the words completely, so they're all done, and they're all correct. And I did the grass under the sheep's feet, so that's all done. And so now all that's left is the border on the bottom, which is several colors, and then the black of the sheep's body. So I may or may not be able to finish it by the end of the month. Probably not. But I'm going to keep working on it, I think, because I really like it, and I would really like to finish it. I dyed this fabric myself. This is 28 count Lugano. But yeah, I dyed this myself, and I like the purple and kind of green, light green color. It works really well with the colors of the design. So anyway, I worked on that. So like I said, I've done the 8 days. I mean the 7 days that I set for my goal, and then a couple more days, and I'm hoping to finish it. And then my other for this month, my other new start was Be Spicy, and this was by the Wandering Sheep is by Lindy Stitches. This is by Heartstring Samplery. Death Twist Heartstring Samplery. This little ornament. It was from, I think it was from the Jingle Ball last.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, well, it says 2025 on it,
but
I
got it. Yeah. The same thing.
Yeah. So but I think I talked about this before, that the color of the fabric to me kind of distracts, and you can't really see the little things on it as well. But anyway, so I have a little gingerbread man. I didn't do the dark brown like buttons, and the eyes are like what do you call it? French knot eyes. So I haven't done any of that stuff yet, but I did do his nose, and I did this little cartouche kind of thing. That there's a little beehive and some bees and stuff that go inside, or a house, I should say, not a beehive, but a house that goes in the middle. So that goes in the middle of this thing here. So I'm in the process of doing this, and I was calling this my new house, new start, because I started it just last night. So this is my new start for my second WIP-GO call for October. So so then yesterday the new WIP-GO numbers. This morning the new WIP-GO numbers came out. Today's the 25th. So I consulted my little WIP-GO chart because once November comes out, then December, by process of elimination, is also announced. So in November, the numbers are 3 and 22, and then that leaves 1, 13, and 25 for December. If you do 13 as a stitch, if you do it some people do it as a freeze base. But anyway, so for November, number 3 is the Swans, which is part of the what do you call it? Cottage Garden Threads Year in the Woods. So this is the Swans, and on the Swans, I think I'm almost done. I may be able to just finish it because all that's really left is there's some colors on the wings, and I think there's like a little bit of the trees and foliage and stuff. So I may be able to finish it because the swans themselves are almost finished, and then I just have to do the trees and stuff around here. So that's number 2 of the Year in the Woods. And the only one that I finished is number 1, the jackrabbit. Is that right? Wait, no. Number 1, the fox. Number 3 is a jackrabbit. Yeah, number 1, the fox, I finished. So number 2 is the swans, and so maybe I will finish that next month. We'll see. But that's my first November call for my WIP. My new start for that number 3 is one of the Statehood Splendor series by Thread Milk, and I'm only doing I guess 4 total. The 4 states that I've lived in: New Mexico, Arizona, where I live now, Indiana, where I went to graduate school, and Arkansas, where I lived for 25 years. So the one that comes up is Arkansas, and that is I guess 38, number 38, 38th Arkansas. So it's mostly DMC, calls for a few fancy flosses: Aztec Red, Chili Pepper, Crystal Lake, Khaki Black. Oh, it's a Valdani thread, and I don't have any Valdani threads, so I'm just probably going to choose a different black to go in there. But yeah, so the only other one of the statehood things I've done is Indiana, and I finished that. But I'm doing them all on this same fabric. And this is, I want to say, it's a Zweigart, and I did this 2/2, so I want to say it's probably 28 count. But anyway, so I'm hoping, I think I have 2 pieces of this, or I'm going to put all 4 of them on this same piece. I forget. Huh? I think it's 2 and 2. I'm planning, or something like that. Yeah. But anyway, so the Arkansas one is the only one that has like several colors in it. I think all the others are like a single color of red, except the New Mexico one has a teeny weeny little stem of a chili pepper that's
Cute.
a different color. But the rest of it is like, you know, one of those Aztec red or one of those colors like that. So Arkansas, I'm gonna, you know, has a few other colors. And then, oops, I'm having a crap-a-lanch, sorry. The other number for November is 22. So the WIP I'm doing is it's technically a WIP and technically a new start. It's a WIP because it's part of this series, Calling of the Sea by Stacy Nash, and this packet comes with 3 designs. So the ship I did for, I want to say for cross stitch camp, and the compass. I don't know, but I did both of these already. So I wanted to do the whale, but it's very big, and I didn't, for cross stitch camp, you know, you have to finish it within a month or whatever if you want to, you know, I mean, that's the goal. And I didn't think I could do that. So this is going to be my number 22 WIP. And I have this Lugana that I dyed myself for that. And the other 2 are a slightly different shade of blue, but I didn't have a big enough piece, you know, for the whale, so that's what this is for. So that is going to be, and this is all in Weeks Dye Works, I think, the colors on there. But they're all the same for the other pattern, so I probably already have them. And then the other new start for that number, number 22, is this Animal Cracker chili, the little penguin, and the penguin comes with a little tiny snowman. And I think this is the fabric that I set aside for that. And this is, I want to say a 28 count linen. I have 2 pieces here, so maybe there's, I know there was one, I did a start for Millie, which is the little elephant, and I did a start for Blizzard, which is the little fox. I just did his little scarf. And then I'm going to start Chili. But anyway, so that's what that's for. And then for my December numbers, I have 1, 13, and 25, and fortunately, they're all Christmas patterns. The number 1 is this Prairie Schooler Santa, the 2024 Santa, and it's always fun. At one time, I thought I was gonna do like as many of these Prairie Schooler Santas as I could find, and then I just sort of changed my mind. I don't have a fabric for this one yet, but I'm going to see what I can find that'll be appropriate. And then the other number 1 is the WIP is Festive Forest, and this is by the Blue Flower, and it's what we were calling the muffin. It's basically kind of like a biscornu in that you put it together kind of the same way. So this is the start I had on it, and they're basically these rectangles with a pointed top, and so there's several of them across the fabric. I just did the outline of the second one here and did a little bit of that one. But so it goes all the way across this thing, and then you put it together like around. And there's a backstitch line around it, and all the points come down together, and so it makes a little muffin shape. But anyway, so I'm going to work on that. That's my one of my December things, number 1, and then number 13. I have Merry Menagerie. This is also by the Blue Flower. And I had worked on the axolotl and killdeer earlier. And so I think the blue penguins is the one that's coming up for this one, these blue penguins here. And I think it's going to go on this other part of this piece of fabric. So this is 32 count Lugana. I mean, not Lugana. Murano Crochet. This color is called Fleur. But so the axolotl is almost finished, except for one color called Santa Cruz, which is a weak Styworks color, and they didn't have it at the attic. And I was talking to the lady there. She was kind of looking to see if they had it somewhere, and it's not. They didn't have it at all. They didn't have a hanger tag for it. So it's, I don't know what the deal is, but I think I'm gonna just order it online if I could find it. So because the blue penguins are primarily done in that Santa Cruz color. They're blue, obviously, and that blue is Santa Cruz. So and so while I do that, I'll finish the axolotl.
What about the killdeer?
Yeah, it's in the killdeer too, but yeah, I'm just not as far along with the killdeer. But then the other the WIP for that number 13 is the reindeer, and this is another Cottage Garden Cottage Garden samplings, Year in the Woods pattern. This is the reindeer. What did you do?
I started to drop my needles, so I went to grab it and I stabbed myself in both hands.
Ouch.
So this is where I am with the reindeer. So I'd like to finish his body if I can, and yeah, I haven't done as much. I've done the little cabin, of course, but not as much of the background stuff. But I want to finish his body. So that's the reindeer, and then my number 25 is I have Year in the Up on the Rooftop Stockings by Lindy Stitches, and I don't have. I thought I had a picture of it, and I don't. I just have the pattern. I didn't want to show the pattern, but I did these other stockings. I took a Jingle Ball class last December, and so the one I did, I think, for the class was this cardinals, right? So it's basically a stocking shape, these designs. So the cardinals I already had done, and then one of my other WIPs was WIP-GO numbers was to do the reindeer, this thing of the stockings, and the other the one that's coming up for number 25 is the Santa one. So there's the on the stocking, it's like the roof and the chimney and Santa going in the chimney. So it's going to go on this same fabric that the other stockings are on, and I think this is, I want to say it's either 28 or 32 linen, but I think those will go nicely on there. And then my other new start for December is Quirky Christmas, and this is by Twin Peak Primitives. And the one I'm going to do, let me get the one with the pictures on the front. Okay, I don't want to show the pattern. I think I have it here somewhere. But there's, so Quirky Christmas, there's several little designs there because they're meant to be like ornaments. They're ornament size, basically. And the one I'm doing is called gonks, but they're basically like gnomes. And I thought I may have taken out the front page with the pictures on it. So I have this little tiny picture. I'll show a photo of it, but it's this little tiny guy's here, and it's three little gnomes and some lanterns and stuff. And I guess they're actually bigger than ornaments, because this is the one I did before, and this is Saint Nicholas, I think. So probably the gnomes are about the same size. I don't know. They're slightly different sizes, the different designs, but the gunks, yeah, are 66 by 46, so they're not necessarily really small. But anyway, so I'm gonna do these little gnome guys as part of that in December. So yeah, that's me.
That's you.
All the stuff I'm doing.
All
yeah,
right. So
for the next 2
first,
months.
let's talk about question of the week from 2 weeks ago when we asked about your
Stitching buddy.
your stitching buddy. So let's see. We have Radiante says that her stitching buddy is an almost 16-year-old house panther named Shelly, and that she curls up next to her if she's on the couch or at her feet when she's on the computer. And then Shelly decides when the stitching and everything is done, because she'll start tapping her hand or leg with her paw, and if she ignores her, she'll hook the yarn with her paw and start playing with it. So, or she'll get on her lap between her and her cross stitch. Elizabeth Donaldson says that her knitting partner is Pumpkin. She's a naughty 9-year-old cat that tries to get into my bags, tries to chew on cords and needles, and loves to lie on whatever I'm knitting on. Needless to say, I never leave my projects out. We are kindred spirits. Yeah. I saw someone who's like, oh, my knitting's just there in the basket waiting for me. And I'm like, my knitting would never stay in the basket. It would be dragged across the house. Thank you, Mary, for your comments on my sweater. Thank you. And she loves seeing all our projects. And she does not have any pets in her home. Orange Eyes says that her stitching buddy is her cat Fester. That's a great name. Sits by me, but not on me yet, as he's a rescue and he's learning. He's acclimating. Noreen Curry says she does not have a stitching buddy, 2-legged or 4-legged. But she likes our chit chat. And then Sherry Bauer wanted to ask about this, and I did reply to your comment that it's called the Yarn to Go Carousel from Twice Sheared Sheep. So it has this carousel part, so you can have it just like this if you're gonna just be somewhere, and then if you want it to turn like on a table, you magnetically put it on there. So that's nice. And let's see. Yeah, so that is our comments from 2 weeks ago. So thank you so much for commenting. It's so much fun to read from you guys. And then last week, our kind of impromptu question of the week was for unpacking advice. Yeah.
Yeah, and the basic consensus was do your bedrooms first. We had several people comment, and the consensus on that was get your bedrooms all set up, because trust me, you're tired. and then concentrate on the kitchen.
Yeah.
We concentrated on the living room.
Yeah.
The reason being that, and just a little tiny bit of the craft room. We have a dog with a tail that could knock down an elephant, and the TVs were on the floor, and it's like we need to get those up off the floor, so that
they don't get knocked over.
He's the sweetest dog, but man, he's a big dog, and
he has a big tail.
He's got a tail that when he
and he's always it's always wagging because he's so happy.
Yeah, he's a happy dog, and the little dog's like going like this.
That's funny.
Yeah. So
but we did get our beds set up as soon as possible.
That
so
was
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, Rob's bed was set up almost immediately, and he stole my mattress, and he's like, "It's the same as the other mattress." I'm like,
but it was mine.
But it had a mattress cover on it. It doesn't matter. I had a bed to sleep in, and it's the right height. When we were at the Airbnb, my bed went up past my rear end, almost to my waist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's how our bed is.
It was
It's super
high.
tall.
But thank you so much for your advice. It was really
And for
appreciated.
hanging in there with us. It was
Yeah.
so nice that all of you guys were
and,
watching.
and thanks for your congratulations on 600.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so moving on. So we are going to do a giveaway, as we have, as is our way. When we reach milestones, we like to celebrate. So we're doing a giveaway. However, we're giving 6 things away, and the way that you can win that is by writing a sentence in your comment with the keyword for the thing that you want to be considered for, or drawing, your name drawn for. That's what I mean. And if it's more than one, fit all those keywords into your sentence, and we'll count them all
Well,
up.
it can be more than one sentence.
You can be more than one sentence, yeah. But I mean, fit all the keywords into your comment, and we will count those up, and we will do a spin-off next week for the winners. But the very first thing we're giving away is not part of the what do you call that? A raffle? What's it called? Not a raffle.
It's just a giveaway.
Yeah, I'm saying the first thing I'm giving away is not part of that. Sorry, no one else can ask for it. I have something special here.
Oh.
Rachel, I know you're watching. You watch every week, and we love you for it. I apologize that I've had this for, I was trying to think if it was a year or 2 years. But I have been working diligently on your quilt.
What's your sweater?
This is a quilt made from t-shirts from my mother, that my mother-in-law owned. And Rachel asked me for it many years ago, and I finally made the top. And then I took it back. I gave her the top and I took it back, and this is my way. I had it because it was one of those things, and I apologize for it, but it is basically done. Tonight I'm going to be putting the binding on. The binding's all cut and ready to go. So you will have a quilt this weekend. So thank you, Rachel, for being so patient with me.
I give them sunflowers.
Yeah, well, she loves sunflowers,
Yeah.
and then this T-shirt in the middle has a big one. And Rachel loves sunflowers, so I used that in the little cornerstones. So, and she loves green. So here you go, Rachel. I'm so sorry, but it will. Oh, and the back, yeah. So what I do when I quilt, for those of you who quilt, I always get a top sheet, a 100% cotton top sheet, and this is the one I picked. I just picked a gray so that it would just kind of be unobtrusive. But what I like about it, rather than quilter's cotton, it's so soft, and it's already meant to be slept in and has that feel to it.
And it doesn't have a seam anymore.
And you don't have to piece it, because flat sheets are always bigger than the bed that you're going to put them on. So if you're making a twin quilt or a queen quilt, you could buy a queen flat sheet, and it's going to have the room for your quilt to fit on it, and you don't have to seam pieces. And it's just, that's what I always do. I go and try to pick a coordinating one. They didn't have any good green ones, so I picked this gray, and but it's nice and soft. You feel how soft it is?
Yeah.
It's 100% cotton, so it will wear the same as the top, and yeah. So it is quilted, and I just have to, like I said, put the binding on, and it'll be all done. So that's giveaway number 1, which was given like, I don't know, a year and a half.
Shall we do 1-1-1 or?
Yeah, let's go. So now for the 6 giveaways that you guys can enter for drawing. That was the word I was trying. You can't enter a drawing for the quilt, but you can for these next 3. So I'm gonna, or maybe we should just go individually, because mine are similar.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll go first. I saw a tutorial. I didn't see it soon enough to make it for this, to show you, like, here's the finished product. But it is by a woman named her channel is named She Sews Seams. I think her name is Chelsea. And she put out a pattern, but she also walks you through doing it for free online. for making bags out of those drying mats that are popular now. So I decided to do that. I'm going to make 2 bags. The first one is going to have this for the side. Look at that truck.
I love it. I
And
love
the
it.
pumpkins. And it's going to have this fabric, which is pumpkins of all colors. I like, so that blue matches this blue, and I thought that was cool. And then it'll have a pocket of a contrasting fabric inside. And then the straps, it'll have a shoulder strap, and it'll be this orange, pumpkin orange. So this bag, which obviously you have to trust me, but I'll show you. Here's a picture of the bags that that come out of this pattern. So this bag, we are going to use a keyword truck because of that cute blue truck on it. So both sides will be, I bought 2 of these drying mats. Both sides will look like this, the inside will look like this, and the pocket fabric will look like this. So that is truck for this bag. It'll be a bag basically this size, squared on the bottom and open on the top with lining and a pocket. Which I'm like, now I gotta go find some of these and make one for myself. But so that is truck, and then I'm gonna make a second bag, and it will look like, and I love this so much. It will look like this.
I love it.
Isn't that gorgeous? And if you want to know where these are, these were at Hobby Lobby, and they were on sale. So, because their fall stuff is on sale, and the lining fabric for this will be this contrasting that I said a minute ago. So this will be the lining of this bag. The keyword for this is pumpkin. So, and it'll have the same orange straps, and the pocket. Oh, sorry, I'm a mess. The pocket material will look like this. Yeah, so truck for the blue one and pumpkin for this orange one, and that will be microwave. Now I need that pattern. I know. Well, she does it for free. Sorry if our sound changed. Our iPad
We're going to try to speak up.
Our iPad started to die, so we had to plug it in, but that precludes the microphone. So that's why we had a little break there. But yeah, it's a free pattern. If you just look up drying mat bags, and her name is her channel's name called She Sews Seams. So you'll be able to find it. Yeah, super cute.
I made her a bag several Christmases ago out of placemats, and
That's what made me
it was
think
so
about
much fun.
Yeah.
So it made me think about it. And what's nice is you don't have to have any batting or like the foam stuff to keep
If
the
you
bag.
can sew a straight line, you're probably good.
Yep. So it's a real fun thing. So those are the keywords for mine. And then you're going to go next, Beth?
Yeah, I can go. Yeah. So I have 2 Teresa Kogut patterns, and they're both Christmas patterns, so it's nice. You have a couple months to work on them. This one is the Rudy Star ornament. These are older patterns. They've been out for a little while, but
they're beautiful.
Really cute. Yeah, this is from 2022.
Rudy as in Rudolph. I was
Yeah.
like, who's Rudy?
Yeah, Rudy Star ornament. There's a little picture of Rudy there, and it says Rudy, and his little red nose. And so it's there's like 3 DMC colors and 1 Classic Colorworks, and so I bought that. That's part of the giveaway. It's cocoa bean and then some DMC colors. And the keyword for this is star. Is that what you said? Yeah, star.
Yeah, but she's not sending the DMC colors, just
the
fancy floss.
Yeah, the fancy floss. Yeah.
So the pattern and the fancy floss and keyword star.
Yeah. And then the same thing with this Teresa Kogut. This one is called "'Tis Near Christmas Day," and the saying is, "When Santa goes riding with gifts in his sleigh, the moon laughs and whispers, 'tis near Christmas Day." And so there's a little picture of Santa and the reindeer flying over there. And this is also several DMC colors and 2 weak style colors, Confederate gray and chickpea, so they're included with that. And the the keyword for this one is Santa.
Okay, now me. So, my first one is Merry Minis, Little Robin Designs. And one says joy, one says peace, one says Noel. And it calls for 2 classic colorworks, which will come with it. And the key word for this one is joy. And the other one is one that I have my eye on and want to do myself, Wreck the Halls. When we were young, the cats would pull down the tree and all kinds of stuff.
They still try.
I did a cross stitch design that's on our Etsy shop of this very thing. I wrote a poem for it. Anyway, this is a cat with, mixed up in the ornaments, and it calls for all DMC colors.
It's cute.
It's so funny. Especially because they're so happy when do you see the tree on its side?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's by Silver Creek Samplers.
Yeah. This calls for all DMC colors, so we won't have any threads with it. And the keyword for this one is wreck. WRECK, wreck.
So those 6 items will be, we'll draw for them next week. So please have your comments in by Friday at midnight, right? The 31st?
Yes.
Yes.
So Friday the 31st by midnight, have your drawing, your entries in. Don't say giveaway in your comments because that might excite the bots.
And be over 18, please.
Yes, over 18 and in the United States.
And we'd appreciate it if you were a subscriber.
Yes. And in the United States,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Yeah, for us to mail things. So, so that's kind of the requirements. But we would love to. We're so happy to give these away and to celebrate 600. Yeah, so we'll draw it on the 1st, and then we will announce it on November 2nd. Okay, so tune in next week for sure, and do that. At the end, we're gonna have a montage of the items and the keywords reminder for you. Okay, at the end of the video. So, and I don't know if you guys liked 2 weeks ago my little pet montage that I did at the end with all the kitties and the
I thought it was
doggies.
cute.
Yeah. So it'll be similar to that. So now on to stories. I'll go first just because I just have a real short story. So we were all sitting in our offices one day, and all of a sudden on Teams comes, I have 2 stories. On Teams comes a picture, and my colleague said, "Look who came to Music Fest today," and it was a bobcat. Here is a photo of the beautiful bobcat that came walking through campus.
If you've never seen them, they're bigger than
so
a house
cute.
cat.
Yeah, they're tall, and
a little stubby tail.
they have a little stubby tail, and they had those little whiskers right here like this. And he got a good shot of him. He was just in the parking lot, just walking through. And I said to him, "But did you offer him tickets to the first concert?" It was so funny. So we went back and forth about that. And my second work story, we had staff meeting on Thursday. Well, earlier on Wednesday, the same day as the bobcat, my colleague messaged me in Teams like, "Oh, there's a fly in my office." And I'm like, "Well, I've got a mosquito in my office." And I was like, "Josh gets the bobcats, but we get the bugs." Right? So that was Wednesday. And then Thursday, we're sitting in staff meeting, and we assumed it was the same fly. Who knows? There was a fly in staff meeting, and he was like landing on us, and like we're all like this, and trying to talk and getting distracted, and like everyone's hit it. And at one point, so I have a colleague, so sweet. She's like rescues cats. She doesn't eat meat because she's like so her animals are like so important to her, and she's literally the sweetest thing. And I heard her say at one point, "Poor fly," and I'm like, no. No. You can, no. I understand. I feel the same way about animals, but no flies. No. I draw the line at flies.
You have
So
no
anyway.
problem with flies as long as they stay outside.
Yeah. And she's like, poor fly. So then later that day, in the staff teams, our CEO sends pictures of 2 pictures of a dead fly. And I wrote back, vanquished. And he said, he will bother us no more. So I messaged him privately. I said, should I tell you now or later that, our colleague said, I heard her say, poor fly. I said, your picture might upset her. And he goes, I stand by my actions. That thing was tormenting me all day. So,
We needed them at the house.
I was like, yeah.
Oh, and
It
at
was
the,
so
at the
funny.
Airbnb, at the Airbnb.
Yeah.
And at the attic.
It's just the
Yeah.
season.
Well, it's
Mosquitoes are bad now
and the
too.
moisture that we
Yeah.
had.
Yeah.
So,
Crazy. So how was the move?
Well, I was gonna say when we're moving things around, sweating like dogs, and especially
Do dogs sweat?
Yes, I don't know. But
I sweat
packing up the house and then unpacking and everything. And by the time and so we had packed like an overnight bag kind of thing, to
live out
what
of.
we would need,
Yeah.
toothpaste and all that stuff. And so I had thrown some clothes in, while I was boxing up all my stuff at the end. And we got to the Airbnb, and I had to take a shower and all this stuff, and I had a clean T-shirt and all that, and I took a shower there, and then the next day, or when we left, I guess, or whatever, again we were unboxing everything and going to the storage unit and grabbing things and all this, and I'm like, I guess I was while we were still at the Airbnb.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what you told me.
that I didn't pack any socks in my overnight bag. So I had I had taken a shower and I was like, I had all my dirty clothes and these new clean clothes, and I had no socks. And I'm like, I'm not putting my clean feet in those sweaty socks. And so
I said that's what CVS was invented for.
We went to
Dollar Tree.
The Dollar Tree, and I got some. I was looking at all the socks, and I was like, well, I don't need 10 pairs of socks, And so I was looking at. They had a thing of 2 pairs of socks for $1.25, $1.50 or whatever. So, but they said Hershey's on it. So one of them is like a chocolate bar, and the other one was just is white. It says Hershey's on it.
That's funny.
So yeah,
Crazy.
so
Anyway.
yeah, I had.
So, I had planned for timing wise things to happen in a certain order in a certain way. And one of the things we ordered was one of those. We used a different company, but pods, and they dropped the container off early. They dropped it off a day early. Did we put anything in it? We did not. Had we would have known earlier that it wouldn't fit everything. And I think that was largely due to the way he loaded it. But it doesn't matter. It didn't fit everything. So here we are ordering a U-Haul at the last minute. So that was the first thing going on. And then time to pick it up with the full stuff. Supposed to be picked up on the 21st.
20th.
The
21st.
21st.
Yeah.
Picked up on the 21st and delivered it to our new home on the 22nd. I didn't care about when it went to our new home. Yes, I wanted it on the 22nd, but if it had been a day late, so what? Mm-hmm. But it had to be picked up on the 21st because it wasn't going to be our house anymore. Mm-hmm. And we could not have our stuff sitting in the driveway when they pulled up. Mm-hmm. Robert was losing his mind because it couldn't be picked up. And I made that day, we are 50 minutes away from where we were living to where we live now. And I made that drive this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. And I just in unbelievable traffic.
Oh, and we about my ID card because she had told me, yeah. She had told me, oh, do you want to go with me? And I was like, why do I need to go there? I'm going to sit around because you were having the cleaning people come to you. And I was like, I don't want to get up at the crack of dawn to go down there and sit around. I don't want to do that.
So anyway,
Yeah.
I had discussed with Robert that I should have gone across the street and told them to please keep their vehicles out of their driveway.
The neighbors.
And yeah, across the street. And he said, no, you don't need to do that. You know, just go, you know, if it's in the way, just go that day. Now, this particular neighbor has not parked in the driveway, his truck in the driveway, for the 8 years we lived there. He parked it on the sidewalk, or it wasn't there. It never had been in the driveway. It was in the driveway. And they could not pick up the container. They could not pick it up because the truck was a gazillion miles long and the container's a gazillion miles long, and they just could not get it so they could pick it up.
Yeah,
And I kept going to the door and ringing the bell, and no. And meanwhile, I'm having to go inside and check on the late. They were supposed to send 2. They only send 1 to clean the house.
Yeah.
Which I still haven't called about.
Yeah, I was sitting in the truck while you were going in the house and everything, and that big container truck came up. It was like this huge truck came out like behind it.
So I talked with the guy, and he said, well, they're going to send somebody else with a shorter truck to see if it'll work. I said, a shorter truck? Okay. And I said, do I have to be here? And they said, no. That's why I went back to the new house, or to the Airbnb. I don't remember which one it was at that point.
The Airbnb.
And Robert was losing his mind. It cannot be there. It has to be gone. It has to be gone. It cannot be there. And then I get a phone call from the guy, and he's like, that truck is still there, and I've tried talking to the Ring camera. I tried that. I was ignored, right? Because you know that they don't have to be in the house.
Right.
But I was ignored. I said, we really need this truck moved. And I was ignored. And so he tried talking to it. Now, that guy answered him and said, I'm not there. He goes, well, can we get the vehicle moved? We need to pick this up. And Robert said, we're going. And so we are heading out there. And we arrived. The guy called me back, and he said, the guy told him, you know, I'm not there, and blah, 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 and yada, yada. And I said, we're on our way. We're about 5 minutes away. And that tells you how long he was there, right? Because he called me when he was on his way there. And the guy would not come and move his car. And Robert was, I thought he was going to have a stroke. And he kept yelling at me like it was my fault. And I'm talking to the supervisor finally about when can it be picked up if it can't be picked up today. And Robert's like, it has to be picked up today. And I'm, they can't pick it up, they can't pick it up, you know? And he's like, you always, I tell you to Karen it up and you don't do it, you're always, you know. And I'm like, I would not have gotten anywhere being mean to him. He would have just shut me down, you know. And they would have tried to pick it up the next morning. And Robert's like, that's too late. And so when we arrive, we see somebody at the door of the truck with the door open.
What truck?
Of the truck that was in the way.
The neighbor's truck.
The neighbor's truck. And I was like, that doesn't look like who I remember of the guy. But yay, somebody's moving the vehicle, right? And it turned out that the wife was there and gave him the key, gave the truck driver the key to move the truck.
Oh, wow.
You know, she's like, we're moving the truck, you know, like be a good neighbor, right?
Yeah.
And so the guy just backs up the truck and he loads the container Because if they hadn't picked it up that day, they could not have dropped it at our house on the same day. It would have had to been dropped off the day after that. And I'm like, I don't care about that. I don't care when it's dropped off. I just care when
They pick it up.
when they pick it up. Yeah, because I hadn't scheduled a pickup day for it. But I just, everything else, the timing was okay.
Yeah.
Well,
But and by the end, I was dripping in sweat. I was so.
Even though it's mild out, it's still so hot when you're in all that.
So even though I didn't have my because I was wearing a black t-shirt, and even though I didn't have my bathing stuff, I was like, I got to take a bath. I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care if I don't have my stuff. I don't care if I break out in hives. I gotta take a bath.
I was gonna say that you know, she had invited me to go, do you want to go with me or whatever to this thing, and I had said, yeah, I don't need to go. She's just gonna go and let the maids in and to clean the house and be there for the pick up the pot or whatever, from the house and everything. And so I don't need to go. And then I was lying around there at the Airbnb, and I got a notification on my phone that my ID was ready. My driver's license expired on my birthday on the 10th, and I had
And that started another
set
of problems.
Yeah, I had talked to them at the DMV about, because I thought, we were in the middle of packing and doing this and doing that, and I thought, I don't want to get an ID with our current address, and yet I don't want to get one with the new address because we don't live there yet, and blah, like I couldn't get one of those real IDs that because my birth certificate is buried somewhere in the storage unit, and the lady was that I was talking to said, well, you could go to the storage unit and just unbury your find your, and I'm like, that's not gonna happen. So
easier said than done.
Yeah, so she said, well, you could probably get, but then they said, well, for signing all the papers for the sale of the house, you probably need a current ID. And I was like, oh my God. And so
yeah, she said we can't take an expired ID.
Yeah, so I went down there to the DMV, and fortunately I was able to talk to somebody, and she was very helpful, the woman, because I had talked to a guy on the phone, and he's like, well, they're going to mail it to you, and I was like, oh my God, because the timing was just not right, because I needed it to come. I didn't want it to come to the old address.
Yeah.
And and we didn't even know where our new mailbox was, for the new address. And so it was like, and if I have to sign papers, I can't do it with an expired ID. And they're like, ah. And so anyway, so I had gone there, and finally I talked to a very helpful lady, and she said, yeah, we can when your new ID comes, we can hold it here at the DMV instead of mailing it. Mm-hmm. So we'll call you, and you can come pick it up. And so I had gotten this phone call from the DMV that my ID card was ready. And I was like, oh, but I told you that because I thought, I'm not going to have her come all the way back here to get my card and go all the way, Right. And I thought briefly, do I poke the bear with a stick to tell them to take my, no. And so, but then I heard Eve's voice, because she was talking to Robert.
Yeah, and he was losing his mind.
Yeah.
So it was probably.
So I thought, oh, there's Eve. And she was like, wait, they just called me about the DMV. So I threw my clothes and shit on.
And the funny thing is that he told me, I told you to go across the street and talk to them. He told me not to.
But so while we were waiting, I guess we let the maid in, and we were waiting for the container people, and we were able to run down the street to the DMV, and I was able to get my ID pretty quickly. So
that's good.
Yeah, so that part worked out. But
Oh,
yeah, it was crazy making.
You're all settled. I got to see the house this morning.
Yes.
And it's very cute, and I like your craft room. It's going to be nice.
It's gonna be nice to have a space that's not in our bedroom that we can keep.
It's gonna save space for you in
And
the
once we
rest
get-
of your storage.
Once we
Yeah.
get seating in there, we've got TV, you know, we can chat while we
That's nice.
work on things,
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, so it'll be really nice. And you know, the people couldn't be nicer with the container issue. You
Yeah.
know, it was not their fault.
Yeah.
And honestly, it wasn't the neighbor's fault either. He could park in his driveway. It's just answer me. He didn't. He answered the guy
Yeah.
and not me. I'm like, why? Just say I'm sorry. I'm not around. I can't move it.
Yeah.
And I would have
Yeah.
started crying. Yeah,
But in the end, it all,
It all worked
But-
out. Yeah.
for all the things that could go wrong. Oh, there was one other thing that I didn't know. When I requested the U-Haul, I said it was a in-town move. Did you know that it was not an in-town move?
Oh, because
Yeah.
you're moving from Phoenix to.
It was
To
a
Santa.
one-way move.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that was one of the reasons I had to drive back again the next day. I had to drive all the way over here to the U-Haul here and return it to the same place that we got it from because it was an in-town move.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, are you kidding me? There's a U-Haul around the corner.
Yep.
yeah.
But we're gonna have to rent another one
That's how it
and do the
works.
storage units and stuff. But you know, it's like, you know,
Yeah, and we've been like, you know, trying to take a few boxes at a time, you know, that we could put in our car, you know, to try to just have less stuff in there, but there's no way that, you know, there's big furniture in there that, you know, that
Yeah.
we're gonna have to wait till Rob can get, you know, his friends to help, because they can't all, you know, they can't just like all take off time, whatever.
all at the same time because
Yeah.
he's off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So there's just a
It'll work
lot of moving parts to this
Yeah.
nonsense.
Yeah, that's what happens.
But
Yeah.
you know, like I said, for all the things that could go wrong, the worst thing is having to pay for 2-3 tanks of gas going back and forth so
Yeah,
many times.
that's not too bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everything worked out. Well, that's
Yeah.
good. All right. Well, I guess we better wrap up.
We better
Yes.
go.
I've
Yeah,
got a binding to sew.
yeah.
and,
Beth and I have to drop by the storage unit again.
Well, that's
Never
gonna be
ending
your life for a little while.
Yeah.
So, okay, so make sure you check out again the pictures of everything up close. I'm about to we'll do a montage here, and comment with your keywords for everything that you'd like to be considered for. So what'll happen is we'll do a drawing for the first thing. And if you win that, then we will remove your name from the
Right.
next 6.
Yeah, you
So-
can win one, but you can apply for
next
as many
time.
as you want.
Yeah, exactly. And we thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for subscribing and joining us every week. And we hope you have a great Halloween and the last week of October. We hope it's wonderful.
Have a safe Halloween.
Yeah, we'll see you in November.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.